my crazy fourth period. Now, this is a story of why I don't fall for female nature, why I never fell for female nature, but why it is good to know what's going on instead of constantly get played and constantly get teased. So every fourth period, I would ditch class and I would hang with 4 cheerleaders at the library, and literally it would be so fucking crazy because one was really freaking wild, was always cracking jokes, always making me laugh and shit, doing everything that I thought a girl couldn't do, literally. But literally, the other ones were literally just comprehensive and, you know, like really kind of supporting. I can feel all the fake energy, but the visuals are so nice. It's no reason why I stick around, but it's literally, it pains me to say it, but visually it looked like it was the best shit ever, but I went along with it because literally I had nothing else better to do, and I could not get sold this dream no matter how hard I tried. There was this time where I was a senior where I felt like I could be picking and choosing, and this is Seymour's time. Now Seymour had validation on top of validation on top of validation, and me, I had the same thing, but it wasn't concrete. It was flaky. It was the flakiest shit I've ever seen. There was this girl that was twerking, literally making stupid ass noises, getting my attention when she already had a boyfriend. And there was this other girl that was pretending to be tired and literally flashed a capsule full of weed right in front of me. Now these are all fucking cheerleaders and shit, and literally this is their bullshit excuse saying, "Oh, Eris, you just gotta relax. Here you go. We give you what you want, and this is how you react." It's not what I want, because if it was, it would be concrete. And this is a lesson to everyone. This is everybody who tried to tell you that that's game. Everybody tries to tell you that, oh, all you have to do is wait for them to break up. No, she's trying to get you in trouble. Because if she was trying to have you wait, she wouldn't be doing shit to literally drive it forward into a faster motion by literally teasing you, making you want it more, making you comfortable to a point where you fuck up. And you can't do that. You can't allow someone to literally have that much control over you. She would literally screech like a freaking a sea otter and shit. Literally having loads and loads of personality, asking me, do I want to do this and that, when she has a boyfriend. That's why I never fell for it. The other ones were in the same boat and shit, and literally this was a reoccurring issue. Oh, you're this and that, you're Chris Brown from high school, this and that. I constantly get flipped on, I constantly get played, and literally I figured it out now that I'm older that they're not getting pussy either. You have is respect, and I realize that respect is so much better than pussy. And the reason why I make this video was literally to tell people like, yo, me chilling with 4 cheerleaders in fourth period doesn't mean shit, because it's not escalating to anything, because I'm not fucking them. Why should I care if I'm being teased? I'm not gaining any social validation. I'm not gaining any social outlets through them, which is what happens when you interact with a girl. Girls have more of an advantage in society than guys when it comes to being social. And literally, when you hook up with a girl and you're able to keep it at a friendship level, they give you resources. And I understood that, and that's why I didn't fall for a lot of manipulations when I was an adult, because of literally, there was this one time where I asked Uncle Jay, why is it that I can only, you know, sleep with them, but I can't go anywhere with them and stuff? And Uncle Jay replied, he's all like, oh, this and that. Why you think that women have more game than men? And I'm all like, what? I'm like, no, I want to do all the shit that they do. I want to go out and stuff like that. It's like, oh man, you can get that on your own. He's trying to ignore that there's a pussy pass. It was at a time where I was dominating, where I was getting tired of just literally an in and out thing. I wanted something that was actually going to take me places, which is why I didn't stick with that street life. You know, I didn't want to do dumb shit anymore. It's because I realized that they want you for what you can do for them. Then they leave you with nothing in return, and that's why I don't fall for that. They used to always force me to dance in high school. The cheerleaders tried to force me to dance especially, and I would get nothing out of it. Literally, they would force me to dance. They would literally get my attention, and literally they would even give me advice like, oh, you keep trying, let it come to you, do all this stuff just to keep me around, and I get nothing out of it, which is why I didn't fall for it. But why did I keep going back for it? It's because literally fourth period was just so shitty that I could not stay there. I could if I wanted to be honest with you, but you gotta pass up, the visuals, and those cheerleaders were telling me to be gangster, and I'm all like, fuck that. I realize now that I'm older that all that symbolism, all the shit that they're doing it from me, but they're not giving me the chance to be free. It's like they're trapping me with the perspective that they're gonna give it to me, but they never give it to me. But they give the best impression that they will give it to me. So how I dealt with it is I called her out once I finally got her number, and I started texting her. I'm like, I wrote you a song. And it was they're treating me like the Chris Brown about high school, so I did anyway. I'm like, I wrote you a song, and she's like, I have a boyfriend. Why the fuck are you sending me songs? And I talked to the guy that was there. There was always one guy that was hella chill that was there. And literally, I talked to him, and we had a good ass conversation about why I have a girlfriend in high school. But obviously, I didn't say that. But why I obviously want pussy, and literally, I didn't want a girlfriend. I wanted pussy, because what I wanted is when I finally went to the hyperbolic time chamber, I realized the strength of always having someone there through thick and thin. And I realized that that's what I wanted, and I didn't actually just want just sex, and sex is only gonna last for so long, but it's with the right person. And I carefully evaluated this by testing to see if Lisa could roast, by commenting on her overhaul, saying that her overhaul beak is just used to sniff cocaine, and she can't roast back, and she couldn't do anything, but at the last minute she could roast, and that's how I knew she was saving it. She told me that she lived in New York, even though I met her in Las Vegas, so I believed her, so I decided to cut it off really soon. How this ties into a cheerleader is she gave me solid, concrete validation on paper. If somebody would have recorded her twerking, that would have, went back. But you know what? I was cool with that one cheerleader, because that one guy was hella cool with me, and I shook his hand the whole time while he's flirting with me. He knew that he was about to cut it off, because he was doing that shit for me and him to get in the fight, and he had my back, and he shook my hand every single time. He always told me what's up, and he didn't betray me for 1 second. But that fourth period let me know a lot, that what you see is what you get. But I didn't know that they had something in mind. I was physically on the same level of attractiveness as all four of them, and literally that's why I could be with all four of them, but I was missing a key ingredient. In the real world, there's no key ingredient for that. What you see is what you get. If a guy is hanging out with four girls, yes, they're having fun, okay? But in high school, when we're considered little kids, I knew it's a trap, and that's why before I get my resources, they were trying to get me to do dumb shit, and I'm all like, no, I can't do that. It's like, the hint is I'm sexy, but I have to meet a certain requirement to do a certain receipt. I have to do something specific in order to get that pussy. I'm like, so you're telling me that you're gonna offer me something and then give me rules? That bitch was hella sexy. I saw her a couple of times when I was adult, and she let me know it was all good. Out of high school, it was good, but when you're dealing with bad shit, it wasn't good. But the good thing about that is I learned a lot, and I kept in touch with like one of them, but I have my own personal life. But back then, when I thought girls were everything, literally, I thought about it. I'm like, dude, this is when me and the devil have a conversation about, see, this is everything you want. It was exactly my taste of woman too. She was light skinned, and she had a big ass butt, and she was Latina. And it was hella freaking cool. I had everything I wanted in that. Always sexual individuals. We'll always talk about sex during fourth period, but we never actually had sex. But what kept me in line was my homie telling me that that was her boyfriend. And that dude knew what she was doing the whole time, and I thought that he didn't know. And I thought that he did know, but it was just a tease. And he knew, and I knew that it wasn't just a tease. That same girl, like, they were asking me to dance and shit like that. They were asking me to irritate them and Lily, and they kept on giving me hoping. This girl had a guy who I was cool with, a guy that made beats, a guy who was cool, a guy who wore Jordans, like Lily had Zoom research and shit. Lily, he stayed quiet and shit, but Lily, he knew what she was trying to do, but I played cool with him. Wherever I saw him, I shook his hand, and I told her, no, and I tried playing hard to get, but that's not gonna work. Obviously, I wouldn't be there, and that's what you get for being a special. That's the special advice to Lily. If you truly want to get her, you would act cool the entire time and let her chase her around campus. But that's after pretending to be something you're not. You can't just Lily have no fucking wardrobe, have no swagger, have no reverse psychology, expect her to follow you and shit. Lily, what they did was they put a read capsule, pretend that they were tired right in front of my face, Lily, and they're like, this is what you have to do if you actually want results. And I'm like, no, I'm not willing to do something illegal. So he kept on trying to tip me, trying to get me. So she started twerking in front of me, knowing that she has a boyfriend, knowing that I know it's a trap and not taking the bait, but I'm just absorbing the visuals. He's like, okay, so he's taking what he can get. I have to make him more desperate. So it got down to a point where her ass was fat and her ass was perfectly round. And if you actually think about it, me and her look like a perfect couple, and she's being really difficult, making me go through obstacles in order for me to gain street cred so I can actually fuck her. Then she ends up going right in front of my house, and my family's going through pain. I'm bitching and complaining about pussy every single day, and she's going right there outside my house, walking outside the house where her fucking sweats out, where her butt hanging out, Lily, walking right in front of my house, like I can't do shit, Lily, over and over again, like Lily, so Lily, so the guy's name was Mandy. So when I actually do try to get her, I'm like, Lily, I wrote you a song, Lily, because I played hard to get the whole fucking time, and she's like, Lily, I have a boyfriend, why are you writing me songs? And so Lily, Mandy comes out of nowhere, so I text him, and so the other guy who I was hanging out with, he's like, you played it cool the entire time, and so when you finally tried it, Lily, and this he comes with the excuse, oh, well, your number is never saved into my phone, and this and that, like Lily, like, you see all that shit going on, you like crazy as fuck, like Lily. And so Lily is like, Maddie says don't trip, and Maddie knew the whole time, and like Lily, so that's what I'm saying. But get what I'm saying, that all comes back to Sabo shit. Like Lily, when he said that, when he said you get no pussy me out, all I thought about was Julie quirky and stuff like that, and how I don't get no pussy but I'm really handsome, and how I still have kind of like a lot of learning life. That's what I all thought about in that one fucking line. And you know what that tells you? Yeah, you don't get pussy down, but it's not too far away. And that's the meaning behind that meow line, and that is the lesson I'm giving to you nerds, and that's why me and Julie got with each other later. You know, when reputation doesn't exist, you get what I'm saying? And that was a whole misconception, and Sabo took that shit way too far. Like,
you know we keep the bully breaker. Fuck you talking about, chop on my waist, little nigga ain't finna talk it out. Bully who? Not my niggas, we finna chalk him out. Disrespect the gang anyway, we finna spaz out. Bully breaker. Fuck you talking about, chop on my waist, little nigga ain't finna talk it out. Bully who? Not my niggas, we finna chalk him out. Disrespect the gang anyway, we finna spaz out. Bully who? You niggas foolish. Every nigga with me strapped with a couple toolies. We be going crazy, not from the bay, but hella many niggas talking that shug shit, but knowing they ain't made that way. Cake and spray, ain't no heroes gon' come save the day. Nigga try to talk that tough shit, save it please. Niggas ain't really in the hood running phase for free, I'm telling you. Don't believe the hype they telling you. Niggas in they hood getting punked just the blood and cuz. You niggas ain't real life gangsters, y'all just hung with son. Niggas get them poppin' them pills, getting tough for fun. Tough for none, niggas get shot when we blast the guns, the bully breaker. Fuck you talking about, chop on my waist, little nigga ain't finna talk it out. Bully who? Not my niggas, we finna chalk him out. Disrespect the gang anyway, we finna spaz out. Bully breaker. Fuck you talking about, chop on my waist, little nigga ain't finna talk it out. Bully who? Not my niggas, we finna chalk him out. Disrespect the gang anyway, we finna spaz out.
I'm sure y'all know my name already. I keep told him, bring it on cowboy style, I had to do it. Told my pity the fool who try to get next to my Julie. Dropping 7-6 toes out the band's Cooper cool as me. You only blue rag, red rag on Pro Tools, you ain't fooling me. My clear bill, I had to bring out the fool of me. Make some more jealous, these gates reciting you using me. Rob who, Draco, please, I keep that tool on me. All on the internet, lying about my Buddha piece. Mentally impaired, somebody find my screws for me. Bang it to his brains, you know how I feel about Judas. It's a 30 piece all on the air, come on, who do this shit? The roller.
Fuck you talking about, chop on my waist, little nigga ain't finna talk it out. Bully who? Not my niggas, we finna chalk him out. Disrespect the gang anyway, we finna spaz out. Bully breaker. Fuck you talking about, chop on my waist, little nigga ain't finna talk it out. Bully who? Not my niggas, we finna chalk him out. Disrespect the gang anyway, we finna spaz out.
Free to straight, them bitches caught up on the robberies. Feds taking pictures, I can't lie, that shit bother me. They try to label me a gang member, say I'm acting. Never caught a case, they like, why we can't catch them. Fuck the studio in the streets, went platinum. Fuck your little brother, you the reason that we whacked them. Wanna be a gangster so bad, stop the acting. These niggas so pussy that these bitch niggas cramping. Take a nigga work and sell it back to him. He with all that slick talking, put that Mac to him.